Hello, greetings, Abariaco. I hope everyone's doing well. I want to take some time to come and share with you some of the options that Black Americans who are in retirement age or those who may be looking for a vacation to a foreign country. There are lots of options available in the world. I have chosen Kenya as my place outside of the U.S., but there may be many other options for you to explore as well. So let's talk about exploring your options to vacation or retire outside of the U.S. This is a message that's specifically made toward Black Americans, but can also include other ethnic groups because the world is a very diverse place, and I feel that we can benefit from learning from one another, other cultures, other language, other customs. I find that this is very enriching and makes you a more well-rounded person. But let me speak to the Black American community or African American community, however you refer to yourself. I am a Black American who 60 years old, lived in the United States all my life, born and raised there, and then in November of 2024, I had the opportunity to visit Kenya after doing missions work in my Bible college and seminary here on the continent. And I discovered this to be a wonderful place for me to stay and establish a long-term residence here. Now, as a Black American, you've likely felt the weight of social, economic, or political pressure that's unique to your lived experience in the United States. And everybody's experience is different. You can speak to one person from California whose experience is very different from a person whose life has been in Mississippi or in Connecticut or Rhode Island. So you cannot just group all Black Americans into one group or one pot because everybody's experiences have been varied. Some people say they want to leave the U.S. because of police brutality or crime. Some people because of the tumultuous weather. But you have to decide to relocate, or visit another country based on your own personal preferences, whether that's social, economic, or political. Now, in recent years, many have begun to ask an important question. Is there more peace, opportunity, or even joy beyond America's borders? And the answer is yes. Now, you can also find your peace, your joy there in America. I had and continue to have a wonderful life in the U.S. with my home, property, my businesses there. My ministries are based there. So you can find your peace and happiness anywhere in the world if you have a purpose, if you know what you're here to accomplish and to do in life. So some people may feel like, okay, America's not the place for me. Perhaps I can find more peace, opportunity, or joy outside of America. Well, this is a conversation that I want to have with you today because more people are discovering that the world is open to them, offering affordable vacations, second homes, or even full retirement in countries where you may feel like you're treated with more dignity. You may feel like you're welcome as family and able to thrive. So you need to have a global perspective. Though I have chosen Kenya, or better way of putting it is Kenya has chosen me, you still need to have a global perspective because my horizons are beyond Kenya, it's beyond Africa, it's beyond America. There are many countries with diverse cultures around the world that I'm interested in communicating with people, reaching out, establishing partnerships, and I'm making efforts to explore as many places as possible. So I also suggest to those of you listening, don't just get caught up in the hype or what's popular at the moment. Kenya has been getting a lot of news, some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. Recently, Kenya had, for instance, had some protests, but just a few weeks ago, so did America. I was also seeing a YouTube video about Malawi having a protest. So there's the winds of change are always blowing. But for those of you who are independent thinkers, people who say, you know what, I want to be able to explore a new life for me or explore the opportunity. of a new life outside of America. So there is a world outside of the U.S. Believe that. I've discovered it for myself as well as many others. I found a life that offers more peace, more cultural richness, and more economic relief. Now, you see countries all across Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and parts of Southeast Asia are becoming popular destinations for Black Americans who are looking for something different, whether it's a soul healing, maybe it's a vacation or a 6-month sabbatical, or some people may be considering a full relocation. You have more options than you may realize. So let's talk about why consider vacationing or retiring abroad. Number one, I think this will be one of the number one reasons for most, if not all people, is affordability. See, your dollar can go a lot further outside of the U.S. in places like Kenya, Ghana, Mexico, or Dominican Republic, Belize, Costa Rica. You can enjoy quality housing, fresh food, health care, and transportation at a fraction of what it costs in American cities. And retirees can live comfortably on modest pensions or Social Security checks while enjoying a higher quality of life. Another thing that you may want to consider when you think about vacationing or retiring out of America is a warmer welcome. You see, many Black Americans are discovering what it feels like to not be viewed through the lens of suspicion or stereotype. In African countries, for example, there is a deep appreciation for African Americans returning quote unquote home. In places like Ghana, Senegal, and Kenya, the connection is powerful and often spiritual for some people. I certainly have found my stay here to be very enriching. A third reason why you may want to consider vacationing or retiring out of the U.S. is health and well-being. You see, living in a less stressful environment with more sun, natural foods, and a slower pace of life can have a measurable effect on your mental and physical health. You have access to private health care. It's more often more affordable and personalized in many parts of the world. Number four reason why you may want to think about vacationing or retiring outside of the U.S. is cultural and spiritual fulfillment. You see, there's something profoundly healing about walking in places where your roots stretch deep, visiting historical sites, hearing native languages, tasting traditional foods, and reconnecting with ancestral culture provides a sense of completeness many never find in the West. Now let's talk about some of the top destinations that you can consider to explore. And this list is not all inclusive, but these are just some of the ones that may be of interest to many Black Americans. Kenya, let's start with that one. This is the country that I have been living in for the last 6-7 months. Kenya is a modern hub with stunning safaris, beautiful natural wildlife. It has coastal beaches. It has an affordable lifestyle, and it is a growing Black expat community here. You'll find cities like Nairobi and Nakuru offer the boast of both rural, urban, and natural life. You also may want to consider Ghana. Ghana was one of the first countries on the continent with a return home movement. Ghana offers citizenship pathways, rich history, and a warm embrace of the African diaspora. Another country that you may want to consider is Costa Rica. It is eco-friendly, peaceful, and affordable. It is known for its relaxed lifestyle. Another country that's very near to America is Mexico. From vibrant cities like Merida to beachfront towns like Puerto Escondido, many Black expats are finding joy there. And another one on our list that you can consider is South Africa. It has modern infrastructure, diverse cultures, and stunning landscapes from Cape Town to Johannesburg. So you see, there are many countries all over the world, even in Asia. Many are moving to Thailand, and places as such. Lots of places that you can explore a vacation or retirement outside of the U.S. Now, the key question is, why do you want to relocate? It has to be something other than something you're running from. It should be something that you're running to. So taking the leap doesn't mean that you need to sell everything and move permanently unless you want to. I still own my home and properties in America. As I mentioned earlier, my companies are still based in America. My ministries are still based in America, though I'm now living in Africa. So one of the things we suggest to you is that start with a vacation. Spend 2 to 4 weeks exploring, talking to other aspects. Rent a short-term apartment instead of staying in a hotel. Ask real questions about safety, banking, medical care, and visas. And if retirement is your goal, begin your search now. Many countries have retirement visas that require proof of income, not wealth. And you don't need to go it alone. There are online communities, there are YouTube channels, just like the one you're watching here. There are relocation services that are created by and for Black Americans to support you. So your next chapter awaits. In fact, a new chapter awaits. Although leaving the U.S. even temporarily can be a powerful act of self-care, healing, and discovery. And you owe it to yourself to see what's out there. Whether you're seeking a place to relax, retire, or reset, the world is not closed to you. It's open, ready, and welcoming. So explore, heal, and thrive as you consider places to vacation or retire outside of the U.S. Bless you. Kwaheri from Nakuru, Kenya. May you have a blessed and prosperous day.